You are so beautiful to me. Well, it's the last Sunday in February. I'm overpowering myself here. So I just got back from being in Denver, Colorado for a week with our Centers for Spiritual Living convention. There were lots and lots of people there. We did our business meeting and we elected a new spiritual leader who is now Dr. Edward Viljoen from the Santa Rosa Center for Spiritual Living, which is an incredible forward movement for our forward thinking movement. And I just want to quickly go over some statistics about our organization before I get into my talk. I know it's a lot of information, but I found it very appealing to see how big our organization is getting and what's happening. So do you have the slide? So we have 526 affiliated communities and study groups around the world and growing. And if you see the pie chart, that's how many. 358 are centers. There's focus groups, teaching chapters, and study groups that make up that 526. Everything has gone up as far as how much money we bring in, how many people we're serving, how many children, youths programs are growing. We are a very stable organization. And this center is a part of that. We are represented on the red line for the size of our center, between 51 and 100. We have just 100 members. So, yay. It's great. We're as you can look around, there's very few chairs. If you come in late now, you've got to really, move some people around to get into where you like to sit. But you can go back to the other side. And these we're going to have available next week, printed out, so that you guys can take them home and look at it. But we are a thriving organization. And it's great. I got to connect with some old minister friends and people that, I've been doing this for 27 years now, as far as being a practitioner and, from when I came into this organization. And, you look back and it's very interesting. So it's like my mirror. February theme is all the colors of love. Again, God has no skin color, for God is all the colors of love. God has no gender, for God is all genders. Genderless, genderful. God has no sexual orientation, for God is every sexual orientation. No political party, for God is beyond political parties. Think about it. And God is all things. Giving love, receiving love, and making love are all spiritual acts that can be gateways to the experience of God, for God is love. So relationships are paths to spiritual awakening. Hallelujah. So, your ship. How's your ship doing? Are you floating? Are you buoyant enough? How's the crew doing on your ship? So, one of the things that we talk about is what we see in life, metaphysically, is a mirror to where we are. So if we're having challenges with our relationship, we might point at the mirror and say, what's wrong with them? And really, if my tie is crooked and I look in the mirror, I don't try to fix it in the mirror, right? I would bump into the appearance. I look to myself and I straighten my own tie by looking in the mirror to make sure that my tie is in the right place. But so often in life, we bump into the mirror reflection of ourselves and we wonder why it's not changing. Why is it not shifting when we're trying to change the appearance? We're trying to change a result when we need to change it at the causal level. We need to look at the relationships that are challenging to us and say, where can I go deeper? As I talked about last week, intimacy. Into me see. Within that, if you are in touch with your true self, you can change what needs to be, let's say, loved, so that the outward appearance can shift. Relationships can allow us to see aspects of ourselves that we simply are blind to see on our own. How can we allow relationships to wake us up through honoring the other person and ourselves? The other person. The relationship that you're seeking is not in a new person to be discovered. It's a new depth within yourself to be recognized. It's not out there somewhere. That may be eventually what happens. But what you are speaks so loud that I can't hear what you're saying. So what are you? Are you emitting the light transmission of the divine mirror image of God? Or are you reflecting the challenges that you've walked through? Now, this isn't to bring up any challenges that you may have walked through. This is to see them rightly, to look at them in a different light. Whatever happened, happened. Now again, I'm not condoning any challenging behavior. I'm just saying if we see it rightly, we can get the gift from it and walk on and be a different person because of it. So, how can we allow relationships to wake us up through honoring the other person? This, my friend, is what the human experience is all about. It's all about how we relate to one another. Are we responding with love? Are we responding with tough love? Because they deserve it. Now, if you truly believe that there's only one of us here, the tough love that you're showing to your nearby, your neighbor, is the tough love that's being imposed upon yourself. So just think about that before we sometimes lash out because of our own inner hurting. And see what's really going on when someone is standing before you, ranting and raving about a political experience they're having. And can you see through the appearance to the God, the love that is within them, that we're all one? It's challenging, right? But if we expect others to see us for the love that we are, we have to, it starts in our own backyard. It starts with us. And once you shift, instead of saying to someone that's standing before you ranting and raving and meeting their energy with more hate and hurt and anxiety, if we can say quietly to ourselves, I wonder what's upsetting them, that they need to lash out in this way. And can we just be a place where that love can live. You don't have to take it. You can Tai Chi the energy right away. Don't take it in. Just let it go. But it takes you being in your center from that high place of consciousness so that you are not knocked off your balance. And are we always there? Are we? I think not, Batman. But we strive to be there, don't we? I mean, this is what spiritual work is all about. You need to be prayed up. You need to be, let me tell you what you need to be. You have the choice to go within and center yourself before you step into the eye of the storm. You know, I like to say when something challenging is going on, this is the calm before the calm. This is the calm before the calm. Because when you are in your calm center, there is absolutely nothing that can shake you. It may take you off balance a little bit, but you will not fall when that power that you are is central to your experience. Relationships exist on a spectrum, right? The degree to which we are committed and willing to show up in a relationship will determine the level of connection and potential for all personal and spiritual growth. The nature of the relationship determines the nature of our growth through that relationship. You get out what you put in. If you keep it very surface, you will continue very surface. But when you say, I want to talk to you about something, I want to know more about how you feel about something. And this is what I've noticed about something. Can you hear me? Can you really stop and listen to me for just a second? And I will stop and I will listen to you for a second. A split second, right? But it only takes a second to recenter. This is why we do our spiritual practice, so that when that storm comes around, we're already in prayer. Pay it forward. And I say, pray it forward. Pray it forward. I do not know what tomorrow brings, but I do know whatever it is, I'm already in prayer about it. I'm already in prayer about it. So we are wired for relationships. The evolution of the role of human ego has developed beyond the fight or flight energy. The fight or flight function still exists within us, and simultaneously, we are being encouraged to expand beyond that. What if we stood there for just one more second and listened to what's not being said beneath the energy of the delivery system that's bringing us the information that we want to run from, and connect on that level? It's not what's being said, it's the energy that people hold. And the only way, one of the only ways, to neutralize challenging energy is to be still and know. Can you be still and know? One of the most challenging things when I came into this teaching was the meditation practice. You know, my teacher said, I want you to get a chair and sit it in front of a wall and put a little Post-it on the wall. and sit about 5 feet from it, and I just want you to look at the Post-it. I couldn't do it for 30 seconds. I was like, I can't, how do you do this? This is, you don't do it. You sit yourself down and you just find a way to remember who you are. And my mantra was, I am, God is. I am, God is. And it turned into a walking meditation for me because I couldn't sit that long. Now, I have trained myself to do that. As you, like anyone who's developed a muscle, you can develop your meditation muscle by attempting to sit still. So, relationships are like mirrors. Ego strives for relationship to play out again and again. We play certain roles in each other's lives. We subconsciously attract to us those people who play into our story, giving us two options in every moment: to relive our pain or learn from it. This is an intentional aspect of the ego and part of our drive to be present. So what does it take for you to be present in your relationship? You know, running is running. We need to be still and know. Can you do that? Ernest Holmes, in his book Words That Heal Today, on page 25, says, we reach God in others by reaching out from God within the self. Always the God in others will respond to the God in us, but never beyond the level of our inward spiritual awareness. And I say it like this: a good practitioner treats from their demonstration, not to it. A good practitioner practicing the awareness of the presence of the power that you believe created you. And we're all practitioners. Some hold licenses. We're all practicing the awareness of the presence of the infinite. So, coming from the energy of already having the demonstration, the healing, the peace, the love, rather than trying to go find it, which is impossible because it's it within you. What you're looking for, you're looking with. So become a finder. You know, I know that people dedicate their lives to seeking. Well, at some point you must find and then keep seeking. But are you a finder? Can you find the infinite within yourself? This is from Living the Science of Mind. The mirror is simply something that reflects. You cannot scratch the reflection of the mirror, but you can change the image in front of it. And you are the image maker. So let us create new images which will reflect new patterns. And we must be definite in our conviction and deliberate in our aim if we expect happy results. For theories are no good unless they are applied. Esther Perel says, it is our imagination that's responsible for love, not the other person. So what do you imagine? How powerful is your ability to vision? Magnificent. Better and better. Well, in conclusion, some relationships serve a season, some will serve a reason, and others will span for a lifetime or possible lifetimes, if you believe in that sort of thing. So pay attention to your relationship and what purpose they are serving in your life. Are you playing out an old story over and over again? Are you here to learn, to move from this person or to a new level within yourself? Are you in this relationship for a lifetime? I would say everyone blesses us, some coming in and some leaving. So one of my takeaways from this week at the conference was I will lead the way and I'll be right beside you. Namaste. So it's time to follow our teaching and remember who we are. So let's take a moment and take a soft focus on the candles, or the beautiful flowers, or just close your eyes and go within. Let's remember who we are. I invite you to bring to the forefront of your consciousness, your mind, your ability to think for yourself of what you believe the power of animation and creation is. What is that power that is making the waves crash on the beach? That allows the stars to twinkle in the heavens? What is that power that allows us to feel, to breathe, and to heal? I may not know exactly what it is, but I know that it knows. And I think we can all agree that there is a power, and we are using it as it is using us. So as we connect with that energy of love and peace and harmony that everyone is, I see the beauty of life. As I look into the mirror called life, I choose love. I know that there are challenges. And I know that there are things that catch our attention that try to believe that there is something other than love. But I invite you to remember that all the challenges in life bring with them their own special gifts. And when we move into the response with love, love is returned in the mirror of life. Love is waiting for our recognition of it within the mirror of our beingness. And as we begin to identify the love in everything, love blooms eternal. So I may not know what you're walking through. You may not even know what you're walking through, but I can tell you this. When we invite love in, love walks us through everything. Love is the ship of our relations. And as we move into the smooth sailing of life, there may still be currents. There still may be squalls. But when you are on the ship of love, nothing can rock your boat. So put your life preserver on. Put on your prayer and your meditation. Put on your visioning. And listen. For the world, the infinite, is shouting to you all the time. So take that extra moment to listen beyond the noise to the love that is waiting your recognition. So I give great thanks for that love. I know that because love is the very glue that holds all things together, I am grateful for that. I know something wonderful is happening by means of each one of us. So we let go. We release these words directly into the living, loving law of God itself, where it is returned to us in a beautiful, magnificent way, as we affirm it together by saying, so it is. Amen. Okay.